Bridgeview Residence where I'm staying. It's cheap, but it's good enough. I'm just walking down to look for a motorbike that I'm going to rent from about 400 or 500 metres walk down the road. So we'll go get that, and then we'll come back, get set up and get out of here. I forgot to mention I'm in Tacloban. Hey, how's things? Ready for another video? Finally, I'm making a video that isn't going to be a ride along. I know some of you maybe are not into those so much, which is fine. I like them, a good way to just sort of see what's going on around in a certain area. But yeah, I get it. People want to see places and things that we're doing and stuff like that. So this one is basically continuing on in the storyline of what I've been doing on my trips. I had in this particular trip, which was November in 2024, had been in Manila for a little bit, a couple of days, and then down to Bohol, which you've seen for 10 or like 2 weeks maybe, I think it was. And then from there, I went to Leyte. And things kind of fell apart there, if I'm being completely honest. I went there with some sort of rough plans of what I was going to do, and a whole heap of things kind of went wrong back in Australia, which kind of made it more difficult for me to do what I wanted to do. And also, just in general, like there was a typhoon that came through, which locked me down for like half of my time in Leyte, which meant instead of the plan had been to sort of travel here and then around the top and then down the coastline and all the way down the bottom and back up and down and around and all the way back up again, and visit stuff all along the way. Probably half of the trip I spent locked inside of a hotel with this typhoon smashing us. And what really it meant that I managed to sneak out and do a quick trip up north and around there, and another quick trip out to sort of the western edge up north as well, and then was locked away for 4 or 5, maybe 4 days, I think. And then tried to go down, but couldn't really, I really didn't have enough time to go all the way down south. So I ended up kind of going down that western coast, through Bay, down and around to like Sogod. And then from there kind of across to the east coast and back up north until we got to the main city there, and that was kind of it. I really didn't get a chance to go and look at anything, which sort of sucked, because I guess like Leyte for me, when I went there, it kind of feels like you're going back in time. It's not like going to Bohol or to Cebu, or certainly not like Manila, but like those islands, Bohol is like a touristy place, and Cebu is quite touristy as well. Obviously you can get away from that, which I like to do, but they have a lot of things for tourists to do. So you can go there and go, right, what are we going to do today? And there'll be 20 things you can choose to do, whether it be going diving or go to a beach or a waterfall or like a Tarsier sanctuary or the Chocolate Hills, or cafes and restaurants and like interesting places for photos, and like there's so many things to do. Leyte feels like it's stuck in the past a little bit, and I mean that in the best possible way. What I mean is, like, it feels like what I assume other parts of the Philippines felt like 20 or 30 years or 50 years ago. Like, obviously it's modern in that you can go to a mall and you can get a phone or you can get Jollibee and things like that. But just in general, it's like it doesn't feel like it's set up for tourism. It doesn't feel like it's designed to encourage people to come there and come and go to this beach because it's amazing, or come and go diving, or go go-karting, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel like it's set up that way. It does feel like it's set up for locals who live there to live their lives, and then have the opportunity every so often to go to like a little local resort, which is really designed for the locals to go down and have a swim in a pool and hang out and eat some food together and stuff for special occasions. And that's awesome. I actually think that's more fun than most of the other stuff personally. But it does feel different. And so when I was there, especially considering I kind of had a lot of stuff going on, I didn't really have time to do any research, and the things that I had planned kind of fell through. Most of my trip was literally just riding the motorbike, which I love. Yeah, for me personally, just sitting on the motorbike and riding, I can do that all day, every day. I love it. There's almost nothing I like more, especially in a beautiful place. And Leyte, if it's anything, it's beautiful. It has amazing mountains, amazing like fields and stuff with like rice fields or corn fields and things going on. You know, like with farmers in there, and they've got their water buffalo or whatever you call them walking around, and the rivers are beautiful. There's amazing beaches. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful, especially when you get out of the city areas. It's beautiful, but it's not. Which is fine for me, riding is what I'm saying, but it's not really great for me to make content to show you guys, oh look, today I went and did this, or went to this waterfall and all that. I'm sure those places are there. I just kind of didn't have the ability to go and see them that trip. So I feel like I've kind of underdone Leyte overall. So this video, I guess overall, is just going to be showing random videos of like random pictures of things that I thought were nice to look at, and beautiful photos, and nice little bits of footage of video where I've seen stuff along the way. But it's not about, I bet you there's some awesome places to go, like nice resorts to go and hang out at, or some awesome rivers or waterfalls to go and swim in and hang out, which I didn't know about or couldn't find, or I didn't really have time to look for. So at some point, 100% I will be going back there. And hopefully when I go back this time, there won't be a typhoon and we'll be able to really have a proper go at it. The typhoon, far out. I've never really been involved in anything like that before, to be completely fair, it wasn't like it was on top of Leyte. It was way further north. But you know, when you look on the maps, you see like the center of the typhoon, and it has like the big arms of like stuff, of weather, I guess you'd say, of coming off of it. So it's all kind of spinning like that with these huge big arms. One of those big arms was like right on us for like a day or two. Like it was so bad. I was in like the 8th floor of the hotel I was staying at in Ormoc at the time, and they have like, when you walk out into the hallway, you know, you've got the hallway in the hotel type thing, right? And at the end you've got like a glass window that looks outside into Ormoc, but it's glass from the bottom up, one big pane like that, about 3/4 of the way up, and then glass from the top down about 3/4 of the way. So they kind of overlap by probably a good foot, with a gap of maybe an inch. And I assume that's just so airflow so the air can come from outside in and up that foot and then inside without needing to open and close windows. And, you know, generally speaking, that's quite a long distance for anything. It would be almost impossible for rain to hit it and somehow go up that and in. I say almost impossible because the reality is that's what was happening. The rain and the wind was so strong, it was hitting it and just blowing the water in, like just tons of water blowing up through this gap and in. And so like I woke up one night and it must have been, I don't know, 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning or something like that to go to the toilet. And it was windy as and raining, and like all you could hear was the wind and rain outside. And I went to get out of bed and put my foot on the ground, and it was about maybe an inch or a couple of centimeters deep of water in my room. I was like, what is going on? Like I'm on like the 8th floor, so it's not flooded up to the 8th floor, obviously, but something was going on. I thought maybe like a pipe had burst or something in my room because there was that much water, and I'm like sloshing around to get to the like light, turn the light on. I'm looking around, and yeah, the whole room was full, but there was nothing leaking anywhere. So I've opened the door to go into the hallway, and the hallway was completely full of water as well. Well, not completely full, but you know, like full of water as well. And the wind was hitting that glass and pushing the water up that like a foot and the water was just like it was like coming in like that, like really like a little wave just coming in over and over and over as the wind hit it, and it had flooded the whole area. So yeah, I ended up, like I went downstairs and spoke to the staff and they're like, yeah, we're aware of it. What do you want to do? And I was like, well, what can we do? And they basically said, there's nothing there's nothing that we can do. Just go back to bed. We'll clear it up in the morning. I was like, okay, cool. So back upstairs, sloshed over to the bed and dried my feet off as best as I could and jumped back into bed. Luckily the bed was up pretty high, and yeah, that was it. Got up in the morning and they came in and cleaned everything up, and that was kind of cool. But yeah, it was maybe 3 or 4 days of heavy rain and wind like that, and not as bad as that. That was the worst part of it, but certainly too wet for me to be going out and riding for, 6 hours a day to go to different places to explore things and whatnot. I would have been, wow, I would have been very, very wet and probably sick from that. But yeah, like I said, travelled down through Bay, down through So Good, and then back up that eastern coast. And it's different. It is different. It looks very different to Bohol. It looks very different to Cebu. It's just a completely different island. I mean, obviously it's a completely different island, but you would think they're kind of close to each other, all three of them. You would think they'd be fairly similar, but they seem very different to each other, all three of them. And it was cool. I enjoyed it. I would say, if anything, the main takeaway I would take from Leyte, I feel like it's like the island of rivers, because I felt like every 10 minutes I'd be riding along and I'd cross another absolutely beautiful looking river that was either, coming out, like it was inland somewhere, or else it was coming out into a beach or something, and it was very beautiful. It was really nice. I felt like I wanted to stop at every bridge and take a photo of the rivers, and if I'd really had opportunities, I'd like to go down and sort of wade around in the water and have a bit of a swim and stuff like that, but when you're travelling alone, you've got a big bag and everything, it's a bit difficult. But it was beautiful, and I did enjoy it, but I do wish that I'd had the opportunity to sort of, go look at whatever waterfalls are around, or other sort of things that we could do there. So I'll go back there again, and I will definitely try and do a lot of that stuff the next time I go. But yeah, Leyte. That was kind of it, really. I might have a video later on showing like places I stayed in Leyte, and show you kind of what they look like if I've got video about that. But otherwise, that's pretty much November's trip of 2024 done. After that, I flew back home, and yeah, then this trip now, which is just finished. So we'll see what I can put from this trip. I'll make some videos from that soon. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have an awesome day. And if you do live in Leyte, or you have been there, and you've got ideas for things to, like places like, you've got to go and see this, or there's this amazing hot spring, or like, whatever, something interesting to go and look at there, let me know, because I'd like to put together a list, and maybe next trip we'll head over there and have a look around. Cool. Like, subscribe, do those things. Have an awesome day, have an awesome week, and I will catch you next time. Bye.